Top 10 albums.
2024.
Let's go. But yeah, crazy year for hip hop. We don't have to do a full recap on everything that happened, but insane year. We said so many times as we would check out new albums, like, yo, this is dropping too. It's insane how much quality projects are dropping this year. This was always gonna be a difficult list to make, but it's personal preference. I have here my criteria. If you watch the top rappers video, I gave my criteria on how I determined my order for that one. For this one, it's a bit more simple. I just went off personal preference, and then a little bit I considered numbers. You know what I mean? But the vast majority of my, what I'm factoring in is just personal preference.
That's me. That's it right there.
Personal preference. I
didn't consider numbers
at all. I feel it.
I just say, hey, what did you listen to the most?
Yeah.
What did you gravitate to? What was in your ears the most?
Yeah.
That's how I came up with mine.
I would say mine's like 80%. 85% personal preference, just me, and then the other 15 is just how well the project did. Yeah, bro, we had a lot to choose from. So if you don't agree, just drop your choices in the comment section. We could talk about it. Well, how hard was this list to make for you?
How hard was it? It was pretty hard.
Yeah,
it was pretty hard because I was trying to keep track from the start of the year, and I ended with I stopped keeping track after 6, and some of the ones that I were keeping track on didn't even make the cut. So initially I started with certain guys, certain albums there, and then towards the end of the year right here, I noticed that my number one that I initially had is not even on the list.
Word.
So it was a bit difficult, especially towards the end of the year. How about you? Was it easy?
Nah. It's still not easy right now. Right now I'm looking at my list and I'm looking at my honorable mentions, and I'm like, do I want to move any of these? Like, there's certain ones I had that are like stamped.
Yeah.
And then there's others where I'm just like, do I really want to? That's how competitive of a year it was, though.
My number one is stamped. Pretty much
done?
Stamped.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say, but we'll stick with stamped.
10. I got Doechii with Alligator Bites Never Heal. Oh, also, now since I mentioned that, I'll say this. I use the term album very loosely. I really just used it as project because, this was apparently a mixtape.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Had an album feel to me.
Literally.
So, that's so if you want to be picky that way, that's how I use the word album. It didn't have to be officially listed as an album. But yeah, I had Doechii at 10, bro. This project was so entertaining to me. And just like a good journey going with her throughout it. The storytelling she had, the nods to classic hip hop sounds and samples and references, things that she would interpolate, and then just her skill level. Like, she's actually just take all that the showbiz stuff away. She's a sick rapper. Like, she's actually nice. And then I like that she was she used this album as an opportunity to really break out. People had recognized her before and were aware that she's talented, but I feel like this album kind of put her name out there, especially with what she did with it, the performances that she did, and just how she worked with the album. She didn't just drop it and go away, but she made the album work for her as well. So I like the rollout process. I like how she moved with it after it dropped. I don't want to box her in as just the female artist aspects or female rapper aspect, but from that perspective as well, she's one of those female rappers now with the Doja Cats and the others that are of that ilk. So shout out to Doechii, bro, coming through.
Hey, but she's so versatile too, bro. That album, that project, was dope. And if she wins imagine if she win a Grammy off of a mixtape. For my number 10, I went with Cordae. The Crossroads. This was one of those ones that truly surprised me because I wanted him to make me feel like he's elevated. He's stepped up his pen, his artistry, and he did just that. And I went back to it a couple times actually. The features were dope as well. I was surprised. I still remember seeing Kanye as a feature and thinking, oh, I'm about to get something good from Kanye, and it wasn't what I expected from Kanye, but the album itself and even the song, it was dope. So shout out to Cordae for making a good project.
Hell yeah.
And he didn't let me down. The project before that, I was a little let down because I expected him to take the same step that he took for this one, but he didn't. But this one was a comeback. Was comeback season for him, bro, and he did good. I remember a few songs. One of them was when he was talking about his daughter, how he described it, and the words the sentences he chose to use Whereas in someone as a listener would hear the sentence, be like, whoa, chill. But how he described it as a father figure in her life and as a father was dope, bro. So shout out to Cordae for putting on a good performance.
Big shout out to Cordae, bro.
Crossroads, bro.
That project spoke to me.
Number 9, I got Future. Mixtape Pluto. Another one that caught me by surprise, to be honest. I was listening to it, and I think there was one song that threw me off. I can't remember what it is right now, but he did this weird thing on it, and I was like, yo, I don't like this. And then I heard it again. I'm like, maybe I'm conflicted right now. And so I kind of just left that song alone. But he did enough for the album to sound great. It's called Mixtape Pluto, so you expect some mixtape Future on it, and that's exactly what he gave you on most of the tracks. I mentioned in the other video a couple of my favorite tracks, Too Fast being one, I Lost My Dogs being another one, and he has one, something France. I can't remember the name of it, it's slipping me right now, but that one is another fire track. And then the videos to complement the album as well, it was all dope. He always puts out music, maybe every year, maybe if he misses one year, you're probably gonna get like 2-3 albums the next year. And this solo project from him, he did a great job, bro. So shout out to him, shout out to Metro. I think Metro was part of the production on there as well. Metro was everywhere.
They've been working, yeah.
So shout out to Future. Mixtape Pluto, number 9.
At number 9, I got Common and Pete Rock with the Auditorium Volume 1. You haven't heard it?
I know, bro.
Yep.
It's crazy.
You should, bro. Yeah. That reason that's so crazy is because Prince is, out of the both of us, Prince is the common guy. Like I'm the one that was like skeptical and just like, oh, but like nah. Him and Pete Rock, bro.
Yeah.
This project was fire.
Shit.
And it was such a surprise to me. Like I sat down for the reaction. I went into it on some, I'ma sit through this. I'ma get through it. It's gonna have some moments, but I'ma like, you know what I mean? There's probably gonna be some dumb. Listen, I did not experience a dull moment. It was fire from the beginning to end. First of all, we know Common's talented, dope MC. Pete Rock's doing his thing on production, fire. But just the theme of the project, it's like an ode to hip hop, like just reminiscing on like nostalgic moments and certain references of hip hop, and then also looking forward to like the evolution of hip hop. So it's doing both. The project's doing both.
But sound, right?
Yeah,
I could imagine.
And just also references that Common makes. Like he references like certain throwback things, and also like it's just dope how they executed it. It's just a vibe. I remember listening to it, and I think it was like the first track. I heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, nah, this is gonna be better than I thought. By the third track in, I was like, yeah, this is probably gonna make the list. And like by the third track in, and then it was a dope experience all the way through. So, and I was happy about it because I was just like, yo, it's different when you go in not expecting that much, and then you get like way more than what you thought. You know what I mean? So it hits different then. So yeah, shout out to them too. I think you would have had it on your list if you heard it. If you heard
what I was doing when I was finalizing this, I was like, yo, maybe I missed something. Let me do a little research and see if I missed. And I seen it pop up. I was like, can I listen to it right now?
Can't even fake it because you haven't heard this shit. Yeah.
I feel it, bro. I didn't even hear it. I wanted to squeeze it in. But I'm like, I can't listen to it now and just put it there just because it's Common and I rock with Common and I know.
Guy wanted to.
Bro, because I remember I think after you're like, yo, that Common project was fire.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, obviously. Even though I haven't heard it because I just know,
Yeah.
I just know how he is and how he raps and I his style is just fire to me.
At 8, I got Future and Metro with We Don't Trust You. I mentioned this in the other video as well, but it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I can't even say that. That's too dramatic. I'm fully aware of how people downplay this project just because of Like That. And like they hear Like That and they see what it did, and then that's it. The rest of the project doesn't get spoken about for real. And there's some dope tracks on that project. They did their thing with the whole project. It's not just that song, but that song is there, and that adds to it being on this list. But there's some really notable songs on there. Some strong showings from people. The Weeknd came through into this thing. Rick Ross had one of his best moments of the year on that project. Future was in his bag. Metro is in a crazy bag. Like, so yeah, We Don't Trust You is what I have at 7, bro. That was it sparked a lot. And that's like saying the least. It sparked a lot. So Yeah, shout out to them with that one.
I got Smino. This one actually caught me.
Is that 8?
That 8, and I feel like it just dropped too.
Yeah.
But I could resist, bro. I could resist.
You liked it that much?
Bro, man is in a lane up hit by himself.
Yeah.
By himself. Does what he wants, makes you bounce to the beat, and then he adds on these features that you may not even know, but they do exactly what you would expect them to do when they're featured with Smino. And it just everything was just okay. That's Smino. That's Smino. That's fire. That's fire. That's vibey. It just works. I mean, it just works. And Smino, even though it dropped recently, I even think this month it was that good where it beat out Mixtape Pluto that I heard maybe months before. Yeah. And then obviously the Crossroads by Cordae. Shout out to Smino for being in his lane and sticking to it too. Yeah. And if he even decides to tap out of it, it'll be interesting because you don't know how he's gonna sound outside of the lane that he's already in. Rome Streetz.
Hey. Yeah. One time.
Rome Streetz and Derringer, bro. Hatton. Garden Hold Up. Yeah. That shit was fire. There's this one track, was it Pro Troll? Is that what it's called? I literally was listening to it today too. Yeah. Pro Troll. Either way, bro, Rome Streetz. He's another one of those I mentioned in the previous video, how there's certain guys that I feel like could do no wrong on the project. He's definitely one of those guys. 38 Spesh is another one of those guys. But if we stick into just Rome Streetz and Derringer on the production never fails. These guys that they choose to create their beats never fail on their side. And then the Rome Streetz and these guys, they never fail when it comes to their pen as well. I love his storytelling. I love the way he comes up with his bars as well. It's very witty sometimes. You could see coming. Not as obvious as 38 Spesh, but 38 Spesh still has that little thing to him that you might not even know what he's going through, where he's going with it. Rome Streetz gets a little deeper with his bars, and Hatton Garden Hold Up was a dope listen all the way through. If you want rap, that's where it is. If you want that nice, grungy, old school, the sound of it, rap is there.
Tyler with Chromacopia. Word. Just a really thematic, fleshed out body of work. Art that it comes with visuals, it comes with a overarching theme. There's references that you could get if you dive deep into it, like pop culture references, with the name of it and the themes and everything. The storytelling that he displays on it. I mentioned this before, but also just knowing how much he has to do with the putting together of the project as a whole. Like, he's not just getting beats sent to him and then just rapping over the beats. Like, you know that he has his hand in all aspects of it from the ground up. And so just knowing all that and listening to the project while knowing that, it gives you a different appreciation for the artist himself. And then it was a good body of work as well. It really made me curious, like, where does Tyler go? Where do we see him? And it's dope because I can't call it. Like, he's a very versatile artist. Like, he could go a bunch of different directions. That's funny. But yeah.
I say that's funny.
But yeah, Chromacopia was a dope project, bro. Shout out to Tyler. Yeah, crazy talented artist. At 5, I got Schoolboy Q with Blue Lips. When I heard it, I said album of the year. And with everything that dropped after it still ended up at 5. So, I have it. I feel like I have it in a good place. Really enjoyed this project from Schoolboy. It's just been dope to see the growth from him, bro, as an artist. I'm talking about from like early days until now. Just with every project, you're seeing growth and just like another step that he's taken. With this one, I can't say it was the first time, but I noticed a lot of like thematic things going on in the project. There's a lot of like running themes going through the project. That was dope from someone that previously, when I was listening to him, I just thought, energy, hype, bars here and there. Yeah. But now you have more to dive deeper into. Like, he's giving you more vulnerable things about himself, like more personal stories. And I really enjoyed it, bro. Shout out to Schoolboy with Blue Lips, bro.
Big shout out to Schoolboy. Yeah. My number 6, Freddie Gibbs. Bro.
Yep.
Freddie Gibbs, You Only Die Once. That was an amazing project, bro. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I probably said I was surprised for a few of these, but this one surprised me a lot. One, the cohesiveness of the album, how it just flowed. and then there's the story within with the. Hey, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there's a story within it as well that was dope to follow along. And some of these albums that I've mentioned, a part of me wants to go back. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this album makes me feel like listening to it backwards might hit different. I don't know if it was even intended for such, but out of curiosity, it just popped in my head. I wonder how it would sound backwards. But either way, the album was fire. What Freddie did on there, not as always, but it did surprise me. His rapping ability, his storytelling as well. So yeah, You Only Die Once was one of them ones. I feel like he was by himself on that album too. I don't remember any features. I might be wrong, but in my head, I'm not remembering any features on that project. But shout out to Freddie Gibbs for making a very cohesive album and making it sound like you could like listen to it at any time. These other projects for me, there's only like specific times where I would tap in, but this one feels like you could just click play at any time. You feel like listening to a Freddie album, I guess, on my side. So shout out to Freddie for making a good project.
Freddie Gibbs, You Only Die Once. I mentioned in the other video, this year feels like I get it. It was the first time I've listened to Freddie prior, and I always observed his talent, recognized how talented he is, but I don't think I was like there with it. Like I was like listening from a distance, kind of. But like this year, when I heard this project, this one got me like, it was like like I get it now. And so this is the project that did that for me. So it will forever have a special place for me now because like this is the one that did it. From first reaction, it was enjoyable. And then it only got better from there. You mentioned the themes and the storytelling going through it. He's another one that there's more to his albums than what you initially hear. Like if you listen with more intent, if you listen actively, you can pick up on certain things that carry over from song to song, whether it's stories or themes or whatever. A lot of notable tracks on there for many different reasons. But yeah, shout out to Freddie, bro. He got the 4th spot for me. Bro, listen, and then that flow is on some other shit, like crazy, bro.
Vince Staples' Dark Times. This project was so smooth to me. It had a certain sound that went throughout the entire project until you get to one of the songs that kind of gets you up and moving. But for the majority of this, I'm fucking stuttering this shit. But the majority of the tracks and the album is very, very, very smooth, bro. To the point where I could keep it on loop, and I at this point I feel like it's just Vince Staples that I could do that with. I mentioned the one with Alchemist that he has on YouTube, where I just had it on loop at one point, and I feel like this one also has that same feel where you can just keep it on loop and keep it playing. And if this is something that he's figured out how to do and tap into, then he might get somewhere far with the music, bro. Because I'm hooked on that loop. I'm looking forward to his next one because he seems like he's active as ever. So shout out to him, bro.
I got Kendrick. Dope project, bro. Yeah, I can't really even say too much. Like, I don't even know what else. I've been talking about Kendrick for a minute, but the project goes crazy, bro. Did I say I was skipping? Which one did I say I was skipping? The reason I don't remember is because I'm not skipping it no more. Like, that's why. It's because I'm not skipping it no more, bro. What I love most about the album, bro, or one of the things I love most about it is that the whole beef situation didn't overshadow or didn't completely hijack the narrative from the album. The album has its own thing going on outside of the beef, even with all the references and stuff that he makes to certain artists. He mentioned in names like Wayne and Snoop, and even showing love to Nas and stuff. Hints at J. Cole, little hints at Drake and stuff. Even with that, outside of that stuff, the project has its own identity, which I love, which is hard to do, like coming off of the narrative that he was coming off of. It's hard to make something that people aren't just gonna associate the entirety of it with this situation. And so for him to accomplish that was dope to me. Shout out SZA. They made some dope ones together on it too.
Was it Squabble Up?
Huh?
Squabble Up?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, bro. Kendrick got the 4th spot.
J. Cole might delete later.
Word.
To be honest, I remember hearing this project once, and then I was kind of done with it. And I remember we recorded, and I remember you saying, "Hey, don't sleep on that project, bro. Go listen to it." Not to me. You weren't speaking to me. People, You're speaking to the camera.
I said it again just now.
And I was like, you know what, bro? Maybe this Kendrick thing is taking over. Maybe I do need to just erase that shit and go back to the project and just listen to my guy. That's Cole, bro. That's your guy. Listen to the guy as if that's your bro speaking. And I went back and I listened to it. Hey, look how far it came off the list.
Bro.
Bro, I would have missed out on a great body of work that Cole did. Even though I know I wasn't expecting it. This was one I wasn't expecting. Even though I remember him saying, "Yo, there was a album run," and I was like, "What's the album run for? If it's not the fall off, where are you running? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And might delete later. I think a couple videos popped up on YouTube, and
Kendrick
I was like,
really shifted,
bro.
Because Cole had some shit going,
bro.
With the vlogs and
I'm
shit.
telling you, he was on a run, and Kendrick just came. But either way, the project was dope. I know he deleted the 7-minute drill. I remember being excited to even get to that project because of what I thought it would have been, based on just what the internet was saying at the time when it dropped. Then hearing it and just not believing him. And then the third time I heard it, I think it was probably already gone off the album by then. But either way, it's still on the internet somewhere. But the album, without that, now I feel like it makes more sense. There's no stains in it because he took it off. He used that tide and just took off the stain, bro. He took it off, and now the project feels like this is something that this was the original intention. You know what I mean? This was such a good project. This is what I wanted to put out. That 7-minute drill was just a bad audible, a bad play call, and he took it off. And even I was clowning him for taking it off. But either way, bro, man, my guy did a good project. His pen is still there. Bro. I remember the songs with Absol and Daylight, and thinking, there's no way he's gonna hang with them, and he just did just that, which proves how good my guy's pen is. He can go against these guys, I guess. But when it comes to, anyways, let me stop butchering my guy. My delete later is number 4 for me, bro, and Cole did a great job with it. Number 3, I got Stabbed and Shot 2 with 38 Spesh and Benny the Butcher. This is no disrespect to 38 Spesh.
I knew you were gonna say that,
It is.
I knew you were gonna say that. I swear I knew.
And when people say that, it still feels like it's disrespect, but it's not.
Saying Benny did the heavy lift,
bro. Benny, no disrespect to 38. I'll say it 10 times before I have to say this. No disrespect to 38.
Yeah.
But what Benny did on that shit, bro.
It was masterful.
Are you freaking kidding me, dog?
It was masterful.
38 Spesh could have been the reason why he woke up and started rapping, like, because I remember the start of the project, they were speaking, they're like in a room, and they said something together, and it's like, okay, it's almost like they knew it's time to make a collaborated album because we're kind of in sync already. And so what they did, especially Benny, I'm sorry 38 Spesh, you do your thing, he does his thing. If it's just him on the project, trust me, he'll kill it. But Benny there, hey, Benny fucking killed that shit. Every fucking verse on that project, I was like, okay, he's probably not gonna keep the same energy. Next track, same energy. Next track, even better energy. Bro, Benny's a reason. No disrespect. Benny's the reason why this is that high.
Nah, shout out to Benny for real, bro, because we were questioning before, not just before this project, but earlier, we were questioning like, yo, has Benny, not as in lost it, like can't do it anymore, but does he want to tap back into that space where he, and then he proved that. I feel like not only did he tap back in, but he kind of like leveled up a little bit. Like, what he did on that shit was crazy.
Because I remember, I think you even said, this is why I picked Benny to begin with. The first time I told Benny over all of these, this is why
it was that energy.
It was this energy that he showcased that made me say, yo, Benny's the best. But hey, shout out to them. 38 Spesh, Benny the Butcher, Stabbed and Shot 2 was great.
I got Mavi with Shadowbox. Yo,
I slept on that one.
Just the way he's able to talk about things,
poetry,
like mental health, personal growth, like being vulnerable where like you're not the hero. He's not, like often when people tell a story, they're the hero of the story they're telling. It's not so with Mavi. He is as much. He's just like another character in this thing that in this like in the scene that he's giving. Like he's just a.
He's not even the main.
Yeah, he's like describing the scene, and like, it's just. But at the same time, there is a focus on him because he's talking about it from his perspective. I don't pause or like anything when I put on the album. I just hit play, bro, and I'll just like all the times I've listened to this album like 4 or 5 times since I did the first reaction.
Yeah.
And every single time I listen to it, it's either headphones on some just like chill thinking shit, and I'm just there, just letting it play, or in the car, it's playing and I don't touch it. It's just the soundtrack to my ride. Like that's it. Dope. That's how I've listened to this album every single time I've listened to it. There's not like all the time. Mm-hmm. And so he's one of my favorite artists out right now, bro. Like Mavi's one of my favorites to listen to. This project was so dope to me, bro. I appreciate. It's not just dope like, oh, I enjoyed it, but I appreciate, like, thank you for dropping this album. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, yo, thanks for dropping this shit. This shit was dope. But yeah, Shadow Box, I'll go on forever if I keep talking about it.
I tried listening to it, you know. I got to the first. I tried listening to it. And I'm like, nah, I gotta be in a place where I just need to.
You gotta respect it. Yeah, you gotta respect it, bro. You can't just like real quick, like I'm gonna just.
Yeah, because it was the first song, and the way the first song, I'm like, nah, I can't just play this and keep doing something. Yeah. I gotta let me hear what you're saying, bro. Because right now you speaking poetry.
It's dope, bro. Yeah. Roc Marciano.
Oh shit.
Marciology.
Oh shit. That surprised me.
Fire.
That surprised me.
Fire.
He did, yeah.
He's one of them guys, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm saying like for me now, like he's one of them. Like, shout out to Patreon. This is how I got put on to Roc.
Shout out to them forever, bro.
Like, it's been a few artists we got put on to through, but this like Roc, I wasn't hip. Like I'm talking like I want to say like 2-3 years ago, was not hip at all. Since then, it's been like a lesson in like, nah, you've been missing out, bro. Yeah. And this one, he dropped 2 this year. Skeleton Key, it was good. 2 reasons why it's not here. 1, it just dropped. Like you know, haven't had enough time. 2, I do think Marciology is a bit better. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? So this is the one I have at 2. We mentioned this in the reaction to Skeleton Key, where it's just like, is he getting better or are nigga? Yeah. Is he getting better or are our ears? That's why. Crazy. Or are our ears like what? Yeah. Getting more in tune with like, you know, the style, the flow, because it's very unique. Like what he does, like it's just grimy, calm, grungy, slick player feel. Like it's dope, luxurious art. Like it's fire. It's fire.
And then some of the, I'm talking about Skeleton Key, but some of the way he comes up with his bars is like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
How did you think that this would make complete sense to the listener? Yeah. To some of the listeners at least. Wild. To make it, that shit was crazy.
Wild. Dope. And then also he produces. So, you know, a lot of the stuff you hear, you know, he links up with Alchemist. Shout out to Alchemist on Skeleton Key, you know, producing there, but Marciology and others, a lot of stuff you hear is gonna be him producing it as well. So you know, you gotta appreciate that fact as well. So that's why I had that too, bro.
And number 2, I got Kendrick, bro.
Yep.
Kendrick. I think that recap played a huge role in getting him up there as well, because I had to listen to that project so many times, and I'm thankful for the recap because most of the tracks on there were fire to me. Don't think I had too many changes for that project. The songs that stuck with me really stuck with me. The one with SZA, I think you mentioned it. Gloria was another one. That verse. And Man at the Garden was another one where I think that's the one where he interpolated one mic. Whacked Out Murals was another. There was
joint too.
Bro, there was so many. Heart Part 6 was there too. There was so many songs on there that I appreciated, thankfully, and thanks to the recap. But the project itself, if I didn't, off of first listen as well, it was fire. And I mean, off of first listen, it was dope. It was a different sound that you got from Kendrick. I know he brought some of his guys that we're not used to, but I feel like they did a good job as well on the project. And so shout out to them for contributing. I see that they're doing their thing as well now that the project and their feature has been showcased. So shout out to them. Shout out to Kendrick for putting them on. Shout out to Kendrick for making this project I like the fact that he didn't spend too much time on what we thought he was gonna not spend too much time on, but make an entire track on. I love the way he addressed some of the things as well. You mentioned the Wayne, the Snoop, him shouting out Nas as well. How he just approached the album was different than what I anticipated his approach to be. Hey, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. P4, Party Next Door. I know. Trust me, bro. You know how many times I played this album? And that's the reason why it's there. No one would have expected this shit.
Nigga put that shit there off the cover. I'm playing.
Cover was 50%. Nah, I'm joking. P4, bro.
Can I be real with you?
Be real.
I haven't heard it.
That's fine. That shit is fire to me, bro.
Yeah, I gotta
fire
listen.
To me, bro.
I got one. I gotta listen.
I got it at one, bro. Everything on that album hits. It's a movie as well. Like every song leads into the next. Every single track.
So he in his bag like that.
He's in his bag.
So Party like back. Like
he's back, bro.
So you looking forward to the joint with like heavy.
Bro, come on.
No, I know you would be already, but I'm saying, but like
even more.
Yeah, because word, I didn't know that it was.
Bro, it's that fire.
Word,
it's that fire, bro.
Better than any other do you have it over any of the
other ones?
Like self-titled joints?
Maybe
3.
Damn, that's a tough question.
It is
because one is stapled one to me.
Yeah.
2, I think it might be better than 2.
2, okay.
2 got some classics on it.
Yeah,
but I think for me it's better than 2.
Word, okay.
Yeah. From the first track to the last track, every single thing mentioned, every way that he decides to construct a bar, even No Chill, one of my favorite songs on there. Every song is a check mark.
Word.
I actually want to go to see the
track list,
the track list, because I know as I'm reading the track list, everything's just gonna start hitting me again. Obviously, I remember the cover, no doubt about that. Make It to the Morning is a dope song. Sorry, but I'm outside is crazy. The man's basically saying, I got a shorty inside, but I know she's hurting. Sorry, but I'm outside. I'm doing my thing. Family is another fire track where he's talking about I think taking like where he's from, Toronto. He's talking about Toronto. He's talking about from the guys that's from Toronto. He's talking about when you know this last day comes where he should be. So I wish I got a video for. Is there a video for No Chill? There probably is a video for No Chill, to be honest. But that's the one I wanted to see. And if I haven't, and if it's there, I'm gonna see that.
Yeah, that you would have gave me 100 guesses. I don't think I would have guessed that. Well, nah.
P4?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I would have guessed it after like 20.
On replay.
Word?
I probably know every song word for word, but at this point. That's how much I listen to it, bro. The reactions on Patreon.
Yeah.
For most, maybe all the projects that we mentioned, the reaction is definitely on Patreon.
Definitely everyone on my list, there's a reaction on Patreon for it.
Hey, if you want some good music, some R&B, some some melodies,
I gotta go check it. I'm gonna go check it today. At 1, I got Vince Staples.
Woo!
Dark Times. It's my favorite project of the year by far. It's let me say this. It's my most listened to project by far.
Really?
By far.
Bro, you gotta hear the Alchemist one. But go on.
By far my most listened to project. Shame on the Devil is an amazing song to me. Black and Blue goes crazy. And then just the flow of the project. You mentioned it kind of in a way, but how one track flows to the next and how it feels like the album could just loop back and you just start all over again, just like listen and nothing feels thrown off or anything like that. Yeah, bro. And this is just from what he's talking about on the album is dope. The self-reflection, describing the environment, the environments that, a lot of people come from, that we grew up in, the struggles of it. He's going through a lot of that in a dope way as well. And that's appreciated. But even in addition to that, just the vibe of the project, bro, it's just this energy about it that like if you've gone through certain experiences, it feels like you're just supposed to love this album. Like if things just hit you on a level if you can relate to certain things that he's mentioning. And again, not just because of the lyrics and what he says, but there's just a very distinct vibe about it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily somber, but there's a chill aspect to it, and there's a slight sadness to it. that makes you feel good. It's so weird, bro, to describe, but
I think a part of it is his delivery to make you feel. It's like but you feel it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the beat making you get the
Can something sad make you comfortable? Like, can something sad bring comfort? Because you're right, the delivery is almost like a melancholy like delivery, but there's a comfort that it brings, like almost like I'm not alone in this shit. Like this, you know what I mean? I don't want to go off on a tangent trying to describe it, but if you haven't listened to the project, go listen to it. It is well worth the listen. Like I said, my most listened to project out of all these. Even if I wanted to argue with myself and be like, oh, I had to be honest and just put it at one, just because of how much I listened to the project. Like, you know, so.
And as I said, there's a song on the project. I can't remember if it's Radio or Nothing Matters, but it has some
upbeat.
It has some up tempo to where it actually. If I were to say if there's any song that should and was purposely put there to make you feel happy, is that one.
Yeah.
All the other ones it just makes you feel happy, but you question it, like, why am I so comfortable listening to this, and why am I smiling?
Yeah.
Or why am I like so focused on? But that album was dope too, bro. I'm surprised you got that number one.
Government Cheese too, like just the little themes dope project.
I remember questioning that, like, why is it called Government Cheese? And then.
Vince is dope, bro. Shout out to Vince. Very aware of certain subjects that he spoke on at length this year in regards to the industry and how the industry can do artists dirty sometimes.
Yep.
How he's been speaking out against that. So shout out to him for that. Hope to hear more from him next year.
100%.
Because it was dope. We got any honorable mentions? I do. Might delete later.
Oh, you didn't say that? How did I miss that?
Yeah, I got Cole Might Delete Later as my first honorable mention.
What else?
Very honorable mention. If you missed the last video, I spoke about this project and how if you can, just put the whole beef shit to the side, take it out and just listen to this project with just like unbiased ears. It's some of the best Cole. Like, just from a technical standpoint, he went crazy on that shit. Lupe with Samurai.
Yeah.
7, 8 songs. I think 7 songs. But like no filler, condensed, packed. It's Lupe. Mac Hami, Rich Ass Haitian, dope project. Shout out to him. M with Death of Slim Shady, had to shout that out. One of the legends dropping something. Always dope. Kenny Mason with Angel Eyes, bro. I'm sorry, I
still got it.
Yeah, it's honorable mention. I would have put it in that. I wanted to put it in that top 10, bro. I was just like, nah, I can't do it. That was like, Ransom. He had Lavish Misery with Harry Fraud. He also had that one with Made in Tokyo.
The one with Conway?
Nah.
He had 3?
Yeah.
He dropped.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. All 3 of them things. Yeah. Ransom. These 2 projects, I told Prince I would mention them. I haven't heard them, but I want to mention them just because I know there's going to be people wondering, yo, how come you guys didn't mention these projects at all, like in no way, shape, or form? The reason why is because I haven't heard them, but I wanted to shout them out just because we're going to hear them. One of them we're definitely going to do a reaction for. It's going to be up. And the other, we might do a reaction for, we'll see. Just because of how people been speaking, how highly people been speaking of them, and because we know the talent level of the artist. And it's Ka with The Thief.
I didn't know you were gonna say that. I literally typed the car there.
Yeah.
Like, did he drop something?
Yeah, The Thief next to Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
It's
on streaming.
Can't wait to get to it. We wanted to do a video for it, and so that's literally the reason why I haven't heard it yet, because I'm kind of holding out on doing a video. So that one, and then JPEG Mafia with I Lay Down My Life. Haven't heard that one yet either. It's on the poll, right? Well, it's gonna be on the poll for the the Patreon poll for the next one, so we'll probably get to it. But yeah, those 2 I just wanted to mention. They're not there, most likely because we haven't heard them, but we'll see how it shakes out once we do hear them.
Yeah, this car one I can't wait to get. Even just by the titles, everything is just linked to each other. Bread, Wine, Buddy, Blood, Testimony, Borrowed Time, Collection Plate, Broken Rose Window, God, Undefeated, Soul and Spirit. Ka, as I mentioned.
R.I.P. Ka, bro.
Yeah,
so we lost a real one.
I mentioned having starting the year with some that eventually didn't make the list. Gets on Purpose with Purpose was one of those that we heard earlier in the year. You mentioned Lupe. I didn't have Doechii in there because it said it was a mixtape. But if we're talking just projects, Doechii definitely had one of the best projects out there this year. And Schoolboy, I didn't mention Schoolboy. I know I mentioned Lupe and how deep I got into the lyrics, but I couldn't add him yet, bro. I couldn't add him yet to the top 10. Just to name a couple of those of my.
I didn't mention Soul Burger.
Soul Burger was another one as well, bro.
Honorable mention.
That shit was definitely fire, bro.
Boldy and Conductor across the tracks. That was dope.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that was dope.
But yeah, even Tyler. I didn't mention Tyler either. That one didn't really stick to me, to be honest. Vultures
came and went for you.
Yeah, Vultures, same thing for that one. I'm not really following what Glorilla's doing, but I know she has a move.
Yo, that's crazy. What? Look at this. I ain't mentioned it yet, but it's literally there. It's not. I haven't heard it or nothing.
I haven't heard it either, bro.
But I was literally like, yo, she had a few tracks this year that were like running shit, and so I was just like, hey, yo, shout out to Glorilla one time. I haven't tapped in. But like I'm out on the like I'm peeping like I'm peeping what's going on. Like yeah.
So I know to keep an eye on her to see what else and who she links up with, because I feel like this next year is going to be very important for her.
Yeah.
And again, Doechii, I want to see what she does with 2025. Hopefully she drops something. We're looking forward to the J. Cole project that should be dropping. Yeah. If Kendrick drops something, hey, we're here. If Drake drops something,
shout out to Cordae. You had him on yours. I didn't have him on mine, but a lot of what you mentioned in your description and your feeling about the album, I want to co-sign and say I agree with. Cordae did his thing this year, bro. You know who?
Jay Skeese.
You know what dropped this year that a lot of people were talking to? Like when I was doing my research just to like make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
Jordan Lucas dropped as well. Who?
I didn't even know that. Elucid, Revelator.
Nah, I never heard that one.
Yeah, so I didn't hear it either, but when I was doing it popped up a lot. So if anybody wants to say anything about that, cosign, we could check it in the comments if it's because I saw a lot of people mentioning it.
Logic dropped.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Ultra 85.
That was actually a good album.
It was. Damn.
He'll be there, bro.
Hey, yo, shout out Rat Pack. My bad. Yo, I totally...
Yeah.
Because it was good, though.
It was.
It was
good.
But yeah, let us know your favorite projects to drop in the comment section. Let us know if you agree with the list, disagree with the list. Let us know how you feel. It was a dope year for music and for VibeVilla. Appreciate you all supporting for the whole year. Looking forward to making some moves next year. Looking forward to the new music that's on the way. Looking forward to seeing you guys chop it up with us in the comment section. Appreciate you all watching.
More soon. Peace.